It will be wild in the West, and the top of the podium is wide open. A former champ hopes to find her way back to Madison, while young guns look to steal the spotlight. We preview the Women's North America West Semifinal next. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside the Talking Elite Fitness Studios. I'm Sean Woodland with Tommy Marquez. Lauren Kalil will be here in just a second as we break down the women's side of the North American West Semifinal. And I love this semifinal just because on the women's side, I have no idea who the favorite is, and that means it's probably going to be a lot of fun to watch.
A little bit different than the East Division for the women. I'm going to call this one the Chaos Semifinal. 10 spots up for grabs for the women. Looking through the leaderboard, legitimately, I can see maybe 18 different women having a case for making it to the games. This is going to be one of those ones where you screenshot the leaderboard after every event because it feels like it's just getting thrown to a Yahtzee shake.
The North American West Semifinal will get going on the second weekend of competition. As you heard Tommy mention, there are 10 spots available for the women. There are 9 for the men, and then 10 teams will be going from Pasadena to Madison, Wisconsin for the 2023 Noble CrossFit Games. It's going to be held at the Pasadena Convention Center in Pasadena, California from May 25th through the 28th. Now, we don't know who the favorite is here, but there are a lot of veterans who have the potential to stand on top of the podium. But who do you think makes the biggest statement among the veteran group here?
Ironically, I think it's 2 of the women at the top of the quarterfinals leaderboard here that were also teammates at Wodapalooza. You start with Ariel Lowen and kind of the wake-up call that she got last year at semifinals when she had to qualify through the last chance qualifier. How did she respond? 11th at the games, career best finishes in quarterfinals and the Open. She also notched an event win in Elizabeth Elevated, really kind of lit a fire underneath her. And so far, it's shown some fruit as far as her performances across the season. Now, this is huge because there isn't a top 10 games athlete here. So she is the highest ranked athlete. I think this is a prime opportunity for her to show some improvement as far as live competition is concerned. And then the woman right behind her on the leaderboard, Alex Gazan. She's kind of one of those athletes that I feel gets caught in the middle, somewhere between those young teenage phenoms and some of the established younger athletes in the sport. 21 years old, she's right behind Lowen, second place in the Open and in quarterfinals in North America West. The Granite Games was only her second in-person CrossFit Games event last year, so she still has a ton of experience to be gleaned. Talking to Kotler, she's one of the athletes, that's her coach over at Underdog Athletics, that he feels is primed for a breakout season. There's not necessarily anything that she doesn't do well at. All of her finishes between 42nd and 53rd in quarterfinals, so incredible consistency, with one outlier being a top 10 finish in the heavy lift.
Well, speaking of consistency, Katrin Davidsdottir had just that before she missed the CrossFit Games last year. She had 7 straight finishes inside the top 10. She is looking to get back to Madison this year. She'll be competing at the North American West Semifinal. This is her first season with HWPO, and she is hoping that she will perform well enough in Pasadena to get herself to the CrossFit Games and add another top 10 finish to her resume.
I used to love competing, and I was like looking at like some of my there's that photo at the 2016 games that was at the Fittest on Earth, like that. Like, I didn't win that event. I did not. But coming across the finish line like that, I was like, there's no way I'm not proud of myself. If I know, like, holy smokes, like I paced that correctly. I pushed in the right places. I took a risk in the right place. Like, that is when I come across just like so happy and fired up and like proud of myself, like regardless of where I place. And that's a feeling that I'm searching for. That's what I want. And that's what I want for myself. And the rest will take care of itself, whatever place that will be. And I still believe I can win, but that's not my main goal. I want to find that feeling.
Do you feel like you're getting closer to finding that feeling again?
Yeah, I do.
For more on Katrin Davidsdottir, let's bring in the third member of our team, Lauren Kalil. And Lauren, you were up there at HWPO and you got to speak with Katrin Davidsdottir. What has been the focus of her training during her time with HWPO?
That's right. Well, she acknowledged that she has a lot of major holes that she really needs to focus in on, specifically when we are looking at her raw strength. Now, she's been able to work with the HWPO team and Rob Kearney on her strength, those raw numbers specifically for her deadlift and squat. Now, it's before they can get to actually increasing those lifts, the camp has said that they've actually broken down some of the technical components of her movement patterns, and that's what's really allowed her to start getting stronger. Now, even though she's been in the game for a while, she still feels like she has a lot of unfulfilled potential. And although prior to these recent years, the goal has always been to win, now the focus is to just go out there, have fun, continue to see improvements. And with this training camp, I mean, she's known Matt Frazier and the rest of the team since 2014. She's trained with them. There's a little bit of a level of comfort going and working with them because they just know each other so well as both a human and an athlete.
Lauren, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And Tommy, Katrin Davidsdottir often gets overlooked just because she hasn't returned to that championship form. But again, 7 straight finishes inside the top 10 before last year. I mean, she's someone that when there's a live competition, she just shows up.
Well, and there's a whole host of CrossFit Games medals hanging around her neck from multiple podium finishes too. But remember, she was still only just 1 spot out of qualifying at Strength in Depth last year, 1 spot out of the Last Chance qualifier, and really what felt like kind of a transition year for her. So work on the technical aspects, you work on the strategic elements that HWPO is going to bring from Matt Frazier's tutelage. I think this could be a good bounce back turning point year for Katrin.
She is one of the many talented veterans in the field here in Pasadena, but there are a lot of really good young up-and-coming athletes, 6 women who are 20 or younger in the field. Of that group, who has the chance to make the biggest statement here?
Well, I think rightfully so, Olivia Kerstetter has gotten a ton of press because of some of the eye-popping numbers she can put up and what she did on a few events at Rogue. But another one to keep your eye on, Trista Smith out of CrossFit Fort Vancouver. This upcoming semifinal is only going to be her second in-person CrossFit season event. And you look at what she excelled at in the quarterfinals along the way. She was 4th in quarterfinal test number 4. A longer aerobic endurance type event. We typically see something like that at semifinals or regionals. She was 12th in quarterfinal test number 1. Heavy, skilled, 2 things that you know are going to show up in spades. And you look at who she's working with. Adam Knifer, CrossFit Fort Vancouver, a great coach. She gets to bounce ideas and learn from Justin Medeiros and Elliot Turner. She said Justin's being super helpful and he's going to be there on site. So every event they're going to get to powwow and really tap into that knowledge base.
Pasadena Convention Center, May 25th through 28th, 10 spots at the CrossFit Games up for grabs for the women. That is going to do it for us. If you haven't already, you can check out our previews of the East semifinals for both the men and the women, and we'll also have a preview for the men's West semifinal in North America coming up as well. Follow us on Instagram. You can support us on Patreon if you want, and we always appreciate that support from you guys. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. For Lauren Kalil and Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland, and we'll talk to you next time.